Herbivore. Herbivore. Done. Hello, hello. Right, that should be better. Hi, any Patreons or channel members watching this on a replay. Thank you so much for your continued support. What are you saying, Mrs.?
Can you tilt the
sure.
thing, make it a bit more of a flattering angle?
How's everyone? Nice to see you all. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late.
Yeah.
Well, 8 minutes to be precise. I'll turn my
God.
phone off for a start.
We're very late.
We're very late for a very important date.
It's been a very busy day.
Right.
No, sir. Oh, I can hear you now. There we go.
First of all, I see that Selma is in the house, our lovely friend, our IRL friend, Selma, and her lovely husband, Paul. How are you doing, guys? Really good to see you. We love you very much.
Yeah, it's been a long time. How are you doing?
Yeah. Will you be there now?
Yeah.
Right, I won't go back all the way to the start because that'll take forever. Robert Pacino's in the house. Chris Grant, Timo, Race Lever, Digital X-Mage, Hungry Geek Mexican, Carrie Williams, Back Plays, did I say that already? Back Plays, Big Spoon Bear, Vegan Meerkat, subscribe to him, he's blinking great. Go Vegan Jackson, Stand in the Scone, 40. Good point. I don't think I saluted Go Vegan Jackson. Big Spoon Bear, please could you tell me how many calories are in that fudge? How many calories are in the fudge out of our new cookbook?
Hang on a second.
Hang on, we'll find out for you. I meant to put that in the video, actually. Maybe I'll put it...
It's in the cookbook.
I meant to put it on the screen.
All the macros for every recipe. Carry on and I'll tell you when I've found it.
And Selma and Paul miss us as well. That feels good. Kelly Bunsel's here. That place slept through the entire day. We've been so busy. It's a nightmare. I wanted to shoot a what I eat in a day video today. For some reason, things take just exponentially longer when you're filming them, and we're just running really late for everything. I've not got half the stuff done I was hoping to. You
could watch a video and easily think, oh, you just filming your dinner you make, like, it doesn't take any time, but we can be in the kitchen for hours.
Yeah, it's madness.
Yeah. Fudge. Okay, so in the book, I've suggested cutting it into 24 pieces, that particular recipe, and then it's per piece is 103 calories, 1 gram of protein, 3 grams of carbs, 9 grams of fat.
No, I want fudge.
Some if you want it.
Oh, god damn. Yeah, I want it. Vegan realists in the house. Digital X-ray. Is protein powder bad for you? It's basically, people say, like, is this healthy? Is that unhealthy? And everything's kind of on a scale, really. And the healthiest is whole plant-based foods in that whole intact form. And then, like, the least healthy things, you know, like your refined sugar, oil, protein powder, like, it's more towards the unhealthier end. You know, if you get a really good quality one like Vivo Life, I mean, they third-party test for over 500 different contaminants, including like heavy metals and pesticides and all that. I choose to use 2 scoops of a quality protein powder, specifically Vivo Life, because being a bodybuilder, you know, having to eat so much volume of food, wanting a sort of higher percentage of protein in my diet, it just makes it easier for me. I would not recommend just eating protein powder, you know, sugar and oil. There's protein, carbs and fat. You're getting your macros, but that wouldn't be the healthiest way. I say, as far as possible, if you want optimal health, eat whole plant foods. If you've got physique goals, 1 or 2 servings of a more processed protein food. The vegan's going to be healthier than non-vegan. You know, may be beneficial to you in your particular circumstance for your particular goal. However, in terms of health, no, it's not optimal. You would be better off eating entirely whole foods. You know, on the scale of things, like, you know, it's probably not going to kill you, but I would definitely say it's not optimal from a health standpoint. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess you were busy, Selma. I guess you were very busy. I hope you're doing all right, though.
Yeah.
Big Spoon Bear's going to get our cookbook when they get paid. Thank you very much. So our new one, Virtuous Vegan Desserts. What is that? $6.99 currently. So it's 40% off. And the first cookbook, where you get your protein, is $5.99. So they are both available at sale prices currently. Typhoon's eating organic tempeh. Good call. Robert Pacino, the ingredients are expensive, about $35 for the fudge. Wow. We wouldn't have paid that much, would we?
Whereabouts do you live?
Euros, sorry. Euros.
Macadamia nuts are probably one of the more expensive nuts, for sure.
I bet the kurma powder can be expensive if you don't sort of shop around for it.
But yeah, we certainly didn't pay that much for ours, so I'm not sure where you live. I wonder if you could make it with another nut, like a cheaper nut, probably. If you had a good enough blender that would blend it into a nut butter, you know, other nuts, because macadamia nuts are quite soft. Well, not soft, but they blend into like a nut butter really easily. You could try it with cashews if you've got a decent blender. I imagine it would work. I've not tried it though.
Have you done?
Yes.
Nibble Nobby's nuts. How lovely. Mid Wales vegan. Hey, Hench, some interesting new research come out about nitric oxide and its anti-COVID effects. Heard about it on a recent Plant Strong podcast. Plant Strong. Is that Rip Esselstyn? Plant Strong. Plant Strong. Plant Proof is that Simon guy, isn't it? I'll check that out. That's very good to know. I did hear recently that a lot of people with a bad case of COVID, about 90% of them were selenium deficient. So get 1 or 2 Brazil nuts in you. Rumble Angus is having rice and kimchi. Nice. Oh, someone's having vegan pizza for dinner.
Nice.
So I don't blame you. That sounds delightful.
Yeah, I like pizza.
Oh, that pizza we had with those guys in London. Where was that? Was it a Parizza? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. And speaking of pizza, we've got a seitan pepperami sausage in the freezer. If you want pizza soon.
F yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. Remind me that's in there.
Yeah. Basically, my physique goal is to get everyone else to stop working out and get lazy and fat. That way I can look good by default with minimum effort. It's a good idea. Practical Vegan. Looking forward to buying the cookbook when I get paid on Tuesday. I was looking for new recipes. Thank you so much. We really appreciate everyone's kind support. You know, without you guys, you know, we'd be stacking shelves for a living and not be able to be a voice for the voiceless, which brings us a lot of reward. So thank you so much. Rommel Angus, I've never heard of those things, so no. Plant-based powered in the house. Hungry Greek Mexican, my work laid off all employees but 15 and your vegan boy made the good job. Good job. So then vegan power is making you able to do a really good day's work. How are you guys doing today? Everything all right? Practical vegan? Yeah, we're great. We're just struggling to do all the things. Really, we need a film crew. If we had a film crew, we'd be laughing. And an editor. Timo, great video showing your past and emotions. What kind of meditation do you do so that stuff comes up? Thank you. Nothing in particular, just basically kind of mindfulness. And in an ideal world, like, you know, I wouldn't be having things coming up. But for some reason, I don't know if it's microdosing with certain things. I don't know if it's just the fact that I've been doing so much meditation and my mind's just allowing these things to come. And it's always stuff from my past, not necessarily, sometimes like dark, horrible stuff that I did to people, regrettably. But just a lot of things from my dormant sort of years, which was about 12 years of my life. It's just something that I don't consider in my day-to-day life. So I suppose it can only come up, you know, when I'm not focusing on creating this vegan world, you know. I just stop and then it can come up. And it's just like my consciousness has evolved and now I'm just reliving all those memories and sort of integrating and, you know, generally feeling horrible about them now. But there you go. That serves me right. Vegan Mean Cat shoved his thumb right up the stream. Sounds uncomfortable. I think Robert is saying the Lacuma is €10. That is quite expensive, Lacuma, isn't it, generally?
I don't know, is it? I don't know. I can't remember.
I feel like that's one of them sort of touted superfood type things, isn't it?
Okay.
Ang Harrod's life is in the house. Check her out. She recently did our black bean brownie recipe. They looked gorgeous. X is saying macadamia nuts, pine nuts can be more expensive. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are pricey. Mid Wales vegan. Yep, rip. Listen to Plant Strong with them. No, I saw that come up, but I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. Brilliant. I'll give that a look then. Thanks for the recommendation. Dexter Ebbs, what supplements do you both take? I'll let you go first.
Oh, okay. So at the moment, I'm not able to eat so much whole plant foods as I used to have. Got some kind of issue. I'm waiting for a scan, potentially my gallbladder. I don't know, but so yeah, I'm not eating much volume. So I have 1 or 2 scoops of Thrive every day because it's mostly like just powdered fruits and vegetables. So it's like, you know, eating more veg, but just another version of it that's still healthful.
Oh God. I'll get some supplements to show everyone.
Okay, so I have B12 and D3. We don't get any sun here. Even in the summer, the sun can be naff. So I take D3 and B12 and an omega supplement. I'm not going to say I take it all the time. I don't take it every day, just sometimes. I'd say that's it. I don't take a lot of things really. Yeah, I like like I was saying about the Thrive. I like the Thrive supplement because I find it helpful that it's got like, 30, 40, 50% of some things like iron and, real snazzy things, like high percentage from just a tiny little scoop. I'm just so super impressed with that. Yeah, this is the stuff.
Oh, you're not going to see it very well.
Yeah. Yeah, a tiny little scoop of it. It tastes nice. Put it in your water. It's great.
Stick it on your crumpets.
Oh yeah, and I do have almond powder. Yep, the most antioxidant-rich berry food.
Food.
Yeah, okay. A teaspoon of that in a smoothie will have more antioxidants than the whole rest of the smoothie, even if you've got blueberries and spinach, all the great stuff. So.
What did I hear recently?
Pretty cheap as well.
Someone was trying to big up extra virgin olive oil and saying it's got antioxidants. And then Mike the Vegan pointed out, yeah, a serving of olive oil has got the same antioxidants as one blueberry. What else do you have? You said about omega 3s.
Yeah, that's it. I think those 3. Yeah, that's it.
We both have these ones. This one, we don't... Oh, actually, you've had a couple of these, haven't you? Because you were worrying that you're a bit lower on your whole foods.
Our blender.
This is new.
Our blender's broken. So, it keeps like leaking a bit out the bottom. Anyway, so we need a new one. So at the moment, I can't have any... I was having dulse. We've got not flakes, but the whole bits of it. And I was putting it in my smoothie to blend it up. And currently, I can't. So I haven't got any seaweed at the moment. So that's got iodine in it. So I have, the last couple of days, I've had a serving of that.
So this is new from Viva Life. Basically, this doctor, and he's a research scientist as well, he looked to see what nutrients do vegans tend to be deficient in and what are the best versions of these nutrients. And he formulated these new capsules. And then he approached Viva Life and plonked a big, huge stack of research papers down and said, this is my life's sort of work. I want someone to manufacture this and I'm coming to you first. And they snapped his arm off. So try to get your stuff from Whole Foods. If you're going to use like a synthetic supplement, that would, as far as the science is at the minute, probably be your best one. I also use Viva Life creatine. This one's micronized, so I find it works well for me, whereas the standard creatine monohydrate does nothing for me. So that's good. And I use the Viva Life Perform. I like the maca caramel. It gives me a little boost. The adaptogen pre-workout. If you want to try any Viva Life, they're 10% off code HENCH10, link down below. What other supplements do I use?
CBD oil.
CBD oil. I use masses of this. I'm on like the biggest dose.
If we hadn't have started getting that for free, I don't know if I ever would have tried it. I don't know if I would have ever spent the money to have that for myself. But I never would have learnt that it's good. I never would have had some benefits with anxiety and sleep and things. So I'm really glad that I actually had that in my life.
Yeah, I really love it.
Or I never would have known.
And again, you can get money off that if you're interested. Link down below for Honest Hemp. Super chat. X kindly donated $4.99. That's really generous. Thank you. X. X, go on, give it to you. Thank you for being so lovely, Paul and Gemma. Well, aren't you a delight? No question, just supporting their local neighbourhood vegan YouTubers out of the kindness of their heart.
What?
They're a beautiful person. Thank you, the mysterious X.
Thank you so much. Can I read out a comment that you would have gone past?
Yes.
Adam is saying, the ethical arguments from Joey Carbstrong combined with the nutritional info from yourself inspired me to try veganism.
Oh, that's wonderful.
The only non-vegan I eat now is cheese. Unsure if I can break the addiction, and there's been some chat about that. Yeah, that's for sure a difficult thing for some people, you know. I used to like cheese, and what is it to do with casomorphines? That's the thing, isn't it? It can actually be addictive. It's like a hormone, is it? That makes
It's like a sort of opiate which bonds the calf to the cow.
To make the cow
and
wanna
unfortunately, when you make cheese, you super concentrate it because it's in the solid part of the
so know that
fraction of the protein.
You know that there's potentially a valid reason there why you find it so tasty. You know, so what could be some tips? Make sure you eat enough calories. If you're under calories, you're going to want your brain or your body's going to be telling you.
Hypercaloric.
Yeah, I want this hypercaloric stuff. When we try veganism out at first, a lot of people can undereat because of
The trouble is, like a lot of these calories, the lion's share of them are coming from saturates, which are the main thing which will kill you in life.
Yeah.
Heart disease and the like. It's the #1 killer of humans. So it's not a good thing to be addicted to. You can get vegan cheeses now,
Yep.
and a lot of the vegan cheeses have also got similar saturates, these long and very long chain triglycerides. There's some lovely vegan cheeses now, but don't get one with coconut oil because it's just you're going to have the same problem. So what are some good brands? Mouse's favourite,
Yeah, Nutcrafter Creamery.
Tyne cheese. Look
Some of
those
our
up.
favourites.
Yeah, they use like cashews and things, so they're heart healthy. And they're delicious. They don't taste any different. They taste better, if anything.
And know that your tastes change over time. It doesn't. It may not feel like it now, but it doesn't take long. It really doesn't. You know, like what can I relate to? So I went on to eating whole foods, like actually pretty much all raw, or like raw at the start, like having loads of smoothies, and it was a super hydrating, moisture-rich like food. And I used to enjoy eating fish. Ashamed-ish to say, sort of thing, you know. What do I mean by that?
You didn't know better.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel a little shame, not like that I'm not that shamed. Yeah. Anyway, and I made some for like my dad or something after I'd been eating whole plant foods for a few months or 3 months or I don't know.
Just to say that we didn't hear the ethical argument for a couple of years.
Yeah,
we went plant-based.
So I
for
suppose
health.
at that time I wasn't 100% convinced yet. I was pretty much there, but not enough that I wouldn't think, oh, I've made this for my dad. Oh, it looks good. Like I'll try a piece. Had a piece. It was horrible. It was so like rubbery and chewy, and it wasn't like this watery, you know, great tasting stuff I'd been eating. I couldn't break it down enough to swallow it. I was like, what is this? I used to enjoy eating this, but why now is this so different, you know? I hear a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story similar, you know? And
the other thing is with the dairy, I mean, if you're listening to Joey's stuff, you've got to imagine you're basically paying someone to go up to a calf, a little baby cow, they're beautiful, and put a gun to his or her head and pull the trigger. I mean, if you can't imagine yourself doing that, you know, just think of the poor calf. They're babies, you know. They want their mum, they want their milk, but no, we want their milk, and they pay the price. It's you know, I look back now, and you know, I'm really not ashamed of myself because I didn't know better, but I have a lot of remorse, and I wish. The only thing I ever hear, like negative thing of vegans, is that they wish they'd have gone vegan sooner. That's the only downside I ever hear. Anyway.
Yeah, say more.
I'll get off my cheese box.
More words to us if you want to, and congrats, you know, on seeing the truth and you know switching over almost all your foods. Like, that's really
good
great.
on you.
Maybe find a few really good recipes that taste super good to you that you really enjoy. No, like your tastes, like they will change for sure.
Looking for questions. Mark Crossy, hi Hench, which new blender would you and Gemma recommend, please? We've always had Vitamixes.
We have always had.
Have we only had one actually? Or have we had two? No, we've had one, haven't we?
We had one, and you dropped the jug on the floor and it broke.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah, we got a new jug.
So we got a new jug, but I thought I was buying an official Vitamix jug off of eBay, but it wasn't. It was
a rip-off.
It was a rip-off. So the blades weren't even sharp inside, and the motor is too powerful for it. So it's worn away some of the bit that it the thing touches underneath to spin the thing around. I'm not explaining that well, and it's all rusted and worn away, and like liquids coming through, and we can't use it anymore. So I'm thinking about swapping over to a Blend Tech, because I hear that they're just as powerful as a Vitamix.
And we can get a free one because we're influencers.
We've applied.
She's being cheap.
They have a program where you can borrow one if you're an influencer. But what I really am excited about is they have this box that it's like, I don't know if you've seen other influencers using them. It's like a thing that comes down, and you turn it on, and it's encased in a clear
box,
basically, so that it cuts most of the noise out. So, because we live in a flat, and the upstairs neighbour at one point came down to say, "Oh, your smoothie's like blending in the mornings, like really waking us up and bothering us." So we figure, why not try that out? Apparently, it's the quietest blender you can get. It's a little pricey, but yeah, we'd like to try one, wouldn't we? That's the only ones we have any knowledge about, really.
Ninja are meant to be good as well, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they wouldn't be big enough for us for the volume that we have, but for smaller amounts, I hear they are good. Yeah.
Super chat. Kieran Forrest kindly donated £5 Great British pounds. A vegan YouTuber is using ableist slurs, and I want to unsubscribe from them. Yet want to stay subscribed so that the message grows. I'm conflicted. You do you. You do you. Do whatever you need to do. And to be honest, like subscriptions now are not really worth anything. YouTube really just promotes videos on the individual videos performance. And in fact, if you're subscribed to someone and you don't watch their videos, and YouTube is serving you their videos and you're not clicking on them, you're doing them more harm than good. So you might be best to just unsubscribe.
If somebody's behaving in a way that you don't think is, ethical, or like humans are animals too, so if they're behaving in a way that you don't like, you have the right to not look at them or be subscribed to them. And what was I going to say? Just because someone's vegan doesn't mean they're necessarily going to be a great person. Like, we're all different, and most vegans I've ever met are lovely, but I have met some that aren't. So, yeah.
Zactivist is in the house. Do subscribe to Young Zactivist. He puts out great content, and he's a great guy, if I do say so myself. Let's go back a little bit. Just looking for questions. Big Spoon Beer Bath time for the little dudes who will be listening from now on. You guys have a good evenings. And you too, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. Produce, not pills. I have a question. Do you have a closet full of clothes but gravitate towards the same few items?
Oh. I own a very small amount of clothes. You probably see me in the same dress, a lot. I've got like a wardrobe, cupboard, but it's like half full, And these days I just buy clothes from charity shops or sometimes like eBay. Haven't bought any new clothes for a long time. At least a year or longer. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a fan of spending a lot of. Well, if I had loads of money,
Loads of money.
maybe I'd buy a little more clothes, maybe. But
No, she's got too much money. Loads of money.
Yeah. What about you?
So I've got quite a few clothes. I've got a lot of Nike like sportswear, which I used to wear in the gym, like as a PT and whatever. I'm not very enamoured with Nike and their business practices, sweatshops and the like.
Oh God.
Who the hell's that?
I don't know. Delivery, maybe.
Where was I?
Hello. Thank you.
So mostly I've got tons of vegan tees and vests. Mostly I wear that stuff over and over and forget about their sort of sportswear.
A lot of stuff like you've been given for free, haven't you? Lots of different vegan tops and things. So is that why you've got so many?
Yes.
I wouldn't say you've got a huge amount of clothes.
Yeah, maybe not compared to some people. I've got a lot more than I need, I would say.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to skip forwards because I went backwards. Practical vegan, what is your take on salt? Do you use much of it for cooking?
These days, I'm more a fan of cooking without salt and then putting a little on top, letting, I suppose, put whatever we want on at the end.
You
I
have a
think it's
lot
better.
less that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't really add salt to your food. I mean, you typically get enough sodium through your produce if you're eating a healthy diet, particularly if you've got celery and, just veggies in general. If you have too much of it, it does shorten your life. Dr. Greger says it's the number one thing that people could do to increase their lifespan is to cut their salt down, and that is ahead of eating dead animals. So I add a bit, but I find if I don't, when I train hard, particularly in the summertime, if I'm really sweating, I tend to really cramp up, and it can stop me training. Like in my tracks, I just get this mad cramp, and then it sort of does my muscles in, and then I've got to bin that workout. So it does raise your risk for stomach cancer. It does blunt your expression of superoxide dismutase at the very time when you want to be injecting that into your bloodstream, i.e. when food particles are in your blood, so you can undo the oxidative stress on your blood vessels there. So high blood pressure as well, not something I have a problem with, but can be a thing for many. Typhoon, what alternatives can you use in place of oil for frying? And is frying with oil bad for you? Yes, horrible. I think oil is the single worst thing that a vegan can eat. Obviously, we've cut out the animal products, which is the worst thing, really. But, to be fair, coconut oil is horrendous for your health. Coconut oil, palm oil, these are vegan fats, which are really terrible for health. The other oils, there's a little bit of controversy over it, but really, I think if you looked at a whole foods plant-based diet versus a whole foods plant-based diet with oil, you'd see that the whole foods plant-based diet will perform best in terms of disease prevention, treatment, and possibly even reversal for some things. There's olive oil, there's a tiny bit of antioxidants, nothing, stuff all. It's very it's the most calorically dense thing, so it's the reason that a lot of people are overweight. It can be high in omega-6 when you heat oils, that destroys any omega-3. So there's a lot of people with depression, which is often a function of inflammation, like in the brain. So yeah, there's downsides. I think there's more downsides than benefits. So I seek to stay clear of it. And then, when you fry with oil, you're creating a lot of free radicals, which, elevates the potential for cancer. When you heat starches, you create more acrylamides, which are a suspected carcinogen as well. When you heat protein and fats to high temperatures with oil, i.e. frying, you create advanced glycation end products, which accelerates the aging process throughout your whole body. It's a gerontotoxin. So yeah, I wouldn't seek to eat oil, and particularly I wouldn't seek to cook with oil. Practical vegan. So to carry on, yeah, so getting fats from nuts and seeds is the best way of consuming it. Yeah, whole nuts and seeds and avocado, particularly ground flax, ground chia. These are higher in omega-3, which are important. We need to have at least a couple of tablespoons of those a day, ideally, up to maybe 3.5 tablespoons if you're a poor converter. And then you have nuts and seeds. You know, sunflower seeds, they have a lot of vitamin E. Pumpkin seeds have a lot of zinc, selenium from Brazil nuts. So yeah, I eat a lot of nuts and seeds, a bit of avocado. That's great for vitamin E as well. And what else was I then going to say? I've forgotten. I've bloody well forgotten. Oh, and whole nut and seed butters. Ideally, consume that nuts and seeds whole, because you won't break them down into such tiny particles. More of the fibre gets through to the colon. It's not absorbed through the small intestine into the bloodstream. And then in the colon, it feeds on good gut bugs, and that's really the cornerstone of good health. However, I do sometimes eat whole nut and seed butters like tahini, like my brain stopped working. Almond butter. I don't tend to eat peanut butter. I eat a lot of almond butter because that's high in vitamin E. But that's so refined, not refined. It's been broken down in tinier particles. Less of it will get through to the colon is the point I'm trying to make. Super chat. X going to give $4.99 to us. Vegan relationships. Oh, and thank you, by the way. Vegan relationships. I'm a woman and vegan. My partner is a man and vegan. Mixed relationships. Discuss.
No. Well, each to their own. Hard work, I imagine.
What I've seen is initially things are all right, and as the one partner becomes more vegan and they see all the suffering, and then their partner's not on board, it creates a rift oftentimes.
Friction in the relationship.
And it does. Not often, that's wrong to say. People don't always survive it. It's that thing, isn't it, about, we've changed, they're the one who's just the same as they were. So the sort of onus is on us, really. Like, it's sort of wrong of us to expect them to change just because we have, because when we got with them, that's how they were. We should love them for who they are, all that stuff that they'll say. But of course, it's hard when you see all that suffering in your mind's eye.
Relationships are about growth as well, growing individually and growing together. So if you grow and evolve and your perspective changes and things, it's hard. Not even just with veganism. If you evolve and change, like with us, if one of us decided, I want to get healthier, I don't want to take drugs anymore, I don't want to do partying, one decided, I'm going to change in that way, and the other one didn't want to,
Why are you pointing at me?
Then we wouldn't have lasted, so yeah, I guess.
And that is something we went through. We were real party animals, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
But we just happened to evolve at the same time.
Yeah. We watched a great video yesterday on YouTube, how to make marriage work. Really good. He was saying there'll always be conflict in relationships. There'll always be certain things that you can't resolve. Certain, like one of you is naturally just quite messy and the other one's really clean, And it's about choosing a partner where the conflicts and differences, what did he call them? The like sticking points, or the things you argue about, are tolerable. They're things that you can cope with if they don't change. Some of these things that you kind of maybe butt heads about, some of them can change, but some of them, he was saying, in his opinion, don't change. It's about which ones can you tolerate, you know. So if you can be with a partner who's not vegan and you're vegan, if you can tolerate that, well, that's fine. But also bear in mind that might change over time. But then again, they might change over time and then become vegan. So you can just go with how you feel now, can't you, I suppose?
What I really dislike is when I can't remember, they may even be in the stream, but someone had been married for like 30 years and then they'd gone vegan, their partner hadn't, and someone in the stream just stupidly went, oh, you should dump him, like that's unforgivable, and I just think, like, don't do that, like that's really rude and wrong.
I went vegan 6 months-ish before Paul. You know, what if I had said immediately, oh, you don't get it the day I've gone vegan, we're going to break up. And then it's like, well, how long do you give that person? Maybe they need 6 months? Maybe they,
I need sex all the time.
Maybe they need
It's this vegan diet.
Maybe
The wind blows and
maybe
shit
they
gets
need
hard.
6 years. Who knows? You
You
know?
just said 6 years.
Yeah, I know. I said it on purpose that time.
Oh.
Oh dear. I haven't got that on my mind, by the way. Yeah, who knows? We're all evolving and growing and changing perspectives at different times. I don't know. That's a tricky one, isn't it? It's tricky. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we shouldn't have any judgment over other people's relationships.
Yeah. I mean, how long did it take us to go vegan? You know, maybe it took me like, when are you an adult? Like maybe it took me like 15
I'm not an adult yet.
years of being an adult to get it, you know, to come to that conclusion and to understand the perspective of animals. So
I think at the end of the day, we have to be our own authority of what we're all right with, what we're happy with, and
yeah.
you know, and like Gemma said, like you can grow apart, and if the other person doesn't change and you get super vegan, well, you're not going to be able to live with it, and you know, you're not going to want to kiss them when they've just had a dirty cheeseburger, and yeah. But if you're really deeply in love, I think you can have. I don't know. If it depends on your ability of being a great. Well, it depends how quality your relationship is and how good you are talking and listening and being non-defensive and all these great things. You know.
Yeah. Definitely watch that video that I said, Making Marriage Work. He was talking about that. He was talking about how they could predict if marriages were going to last based on watching these couples for 15 minutes. And getting them to just talk about something. They got
basically all the data.
Yeah, you know, so I think a key thing, let's say here, with this situation, vegan and non-vegan relationships, like how solid is the relationship already? How do you deal with grievances or issues that you have, you know, with each other? How good is the communication, you know? If you have already a lot of defensiveness and, you know, antagonistic style like communication and judgments and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter what topic you bring into the equation, it's not going to go well regardless, let alone something difficult like veganism. So maybe those are the relationships that work, that manage to survive, is the ones where there's great communication and you're already getting on really well.
Yeah. Okay, Ron the Norman. Any good free herbalist courses? I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know on that one, I'm afraid. Vegan Metalhead, how cool does someone have to be to put baby octopus on the menu? Well, I think any animal really. Yeah, that is horrible.
Very sad.
Right, I'm just looking for questions just to keep good value in the stream, but I am reading all your comments. Satan Inside, will you be getting the Vegan Moon Cat back on for an update? Why, I think we shall do that. Yeah, I think we shall do that. Yeah, that'll be good. Digital X-Mage. My mum is thinking of going vegan. She's Indian. I tell her if you just swap the animal products for legumes or clothes, she would be super healthy. Always, but yeah, Indian cuisine is amazing. You know, it's a lot of legumes. You know, it's rice. It's like you say, all the herbs and spices. You know, greens, onions. Well, depending on some Indians don't eat onions and garlic, do they? What religion is that? I forget.
Hinduism?
Don't know. Someone comment down below. I know like VJ and his wife don't, and they're Hare Krishna, but I don't know if it's part of that religion,
Right.
or if it's just something that they
Okay, personal
consider.
choice,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Comment down below, can someone? Amelia Morgan, lovely to see you. How can you love someone that condones and contributes to suffering? Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying.
I hear you.
It's just that this world is just so set up for that to not be a thing that people ever consider, you know?
Most of us weren't raised vegan, so there was a point when we didn't get it and we condoned and contributed to suffering. And so I guess it's about maybe putting yourself in the perspective of that person who hasn't, let's say hasn't had the knowledge you have, but maybe you've shown them it and they still haven't changed, but maybe there's some other sticking point that needs to be understood, you know? And yeah, there was a point when we all weren't vegan.
I mean, imagine a couple that's been together for like, I don't know, 50 years and they are soulmates. Everything about their relationship is perfect and they really feel like they need each other. And then one of them goes vegan and the other one is not convinced that it's healthy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't condemn someone for, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I really get what you're saying. I'm thinking that sometimes it's about understanding why somebody doesn't get it. So first of all, we might think, oh, well, maybe they haven't had the information, they haven't seen Dominion or the Game Changers. Let's give them the information that I've been privy to. And then if they still don't change, maybe it's about understanding, if you know that they're a good person, okay, well, what is it here? Why are they stuck? You know, is it to do with like health, or is it to do with some internal subconscious part that fears the judgment of their family, or what is it? You know, why are they stuck? And maybe it's about understanding, and maybe sometimes it's about our own inability to get ourselves into their perspective.
Some people just don't see perspectives, do they? Struggle to.
But it's really hard when you love someone and then they don't get it, and you see it from your perspective of, oh, they're just hurting animals. Yeah, that's really tough.
It's not something I could personally do, so I do hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, what I was getting at was like, maybe we need to understand their perspective more so we can help them, you know. Not that our perspective is wrong, because, you know, it's hard to look at somebody who's contributing to animal suffering and to be okay with that. That's really hard.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sean, on a whole foods plant-based diet, is 6 grams of salt still in the mix we should consume? High potassium helps combat the effects of salt. I like too much into it. I want to hear your take. So the real whole foods plant-based doctors, they are really not a fan of adding any salt, really. They say like no more than 1,500 milligrams, so 1.6 grams of salt, of sodium specifically, and that you can get that from your food. That 6 grams, I'm guessing you're in the UK. I think that's a number that the UK government has touted. They also say you only need to eat 5 fruits or veggies a day, and basically like their advice is, pardon my French, crap. Like, hey cowboy,
hi,
you okay?
Hi.
Yeah, I would say that's far too high for health. And again, personally, I add a little bit of salt to my food because if I don't, I like cramp up. But yeah, I wouldn't add 6 grams. Practical vegan. I noticed in your videos you say ex-personal trainer. What made you stop? I became a YouTuber full time. I'm currently looking to begin personal training career. It's a great job. If it wasn't for the YouTube thing, I would still be a PT. It's extremely rewarding because you see people transform their lives and get so happy, you know. By the time they come to you, you know, it's not a cheap hobby hiring a trainer. So they're serious. So, you know, oftentimes they put in the work, particularly if they augment that with the nutrition, which is key. And of course, me being me and being a nutritionist and being so pro whole foods plant-based, people got amazing results, awesome physiques, reversing like disease. Such a rewarding job. You know, you get a real feeling of significance, of being like positive, like paying, not paying it forwards, but being of service. It's best job I ever had until this one.
And while you squeezes over for you now for 6 years. I can't believe we said that. Sex on the brain.
Vegan Mooncat. Vegan Mooncat, I don't know if you were listening a short time ago, but someone asked if you and I are going to do an update video in the future. So, yeah, I think that would be an amazing thing. So, shall we say we're going to do that in like 6 months or something, Mooncat? What do you think? Comment down below.
This cat don't want me. He wants me to love him down there on the floor. Come up here. No.
This kind of carries on from what we were talking about. Carrie saying, I love my parents, but it's getting harder for me to do dinner nights with them, as Dad has to have meat. So I started avoiding those if I can. Yeah, this happens. Not just in, sexual relations, but that's the wrong phrase. You know what I'm saying? With your significant other. But yeah, any relationship, friends, family, it can start to drive a wedge.
Yeah.
Race Lever just said cowgirl. You sound like our vet who we had to put straight as well.
Surely it's
Cowgirl, surely.
No, it's
No?
cowboy.
Purple Piplup is in the house. Hi, lovely.
People are talking about Kit Kats and 4 fingers. This stream has turned into filth.
Indie Figure, yeah, Janus. I thought it was Janus, but I didn't want to say that and get it wrong. Won't eat anything that needs to be pulled up from under the soil or damage organisms. They still have dairy, do they indeed?
Oh.
Buggers. Jackie. Is it true that spicy foods such as peppers and chilies increase metabolism? Possibly, but it's such a minimal amount, you wouldn't really see any clinical difference, I don't think. And it's something I have played with during cuts and things. Deceptive Collective, any tips for someone wanting to be more involved in vegan activism YouTube? Yeah, do it. Just do it. Nike got something right for once. Yeah, get started. If you're going to do the YouTubes, it's good to watch channels like Roberto Blake, Daryl Eves, Nick Nimmin, video creators, video influencers. There are others, but they sort of teach you how to do YouTube, more effectively. And in terms of activism, I say play to your strengths. So for me, my size and strength literally is my strength. Also, I'm well read on the science, on the nutrition aspect. So I bang on about health and nutrition. I try to just be a good role model, put out positive stuff. But yeah, whatever you're good at, try to leverage that. Really, so anything to add? Cat.
No, you said some great words. He's not a big fan of kisses, really. Is
Yes, he is. He loves my kisses. Race Lever, what is sex? We can't really say in case children are watching, but that's how children are.
Can I do this?
Coming to. No, you cannot do that.
No? I just did it. Sorry about that.
Sexy time.
Borat.
What this means? Sorry, chaff machine.
Vegan Mooncat's asking me, he's saying, the older I become, the more I find it hard not to say the truth. Do you believe we should always tell the truth in every situation, as most of the time lies cause more harm, even if you are saving feelings?
Depends if you want any friends or not. It's certainly not something I'd subscribe to, but I have started speaking my truth a lot more, particularly where injustice is involved. I was in. I'll tell you what was the catalyst for me. I mean, having gone vegan was like a big thing, but then I was in a health food store with two friends, and there was sort of an acquaintance in there working, and he just started sort of talking. He's a bit of a talker. He was sort of talking at us, and it was all right. We were having like a decent conversation, but then he came out with like a racial slur, and there were three of us just suddenly sort of just stopped talking to him, and he was just running on. And he sort of brought in this sort of racist sort of element into the conversation, and I think we were too polite to like say anything, but we all sort of looked at each other and we didn't want to carry on the conversation. And that once that petered out, you know, we got our stuff and we got the hell out of there. As soon as we got out of the door, we were all wanting to talk about it, and we were all kicking ourselves, and we all said the next time someone is racist or anythingist, you know, homophobic, like anything like that, we're going to put them straight. And that's what I've been doing since. So in terms of like bigotry, yeah, I can't let that slide anymore, because I think was it Einstein said something about the world won't be like ruined by evil people, it'll be the fault of good people who stand by and do nothing. So that's the one time where I will tell my truth.
Yeah, good words. I suppose that it depends what circumstances you're talking about, is my feeling. Lies, like, to save feelings, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to hurt your poor old mum's feelings, or...
If, you know, yeah, if somebody says, like, oh, you know, I've put on a bit of weight, I feel really unattractive, like, am I still beautiful or something, you know, like not necessarily your partner, but say, like, you know, say a friend says that to you, you might think, oh, yeah, I can see you've put on some weight, but you might want to say, like, of course, you'll always be beautiful, or, I don't know, you might say something and... Maybe.
But then you're enabling them to be unhealthy and live a shorter life. I do get Kat's perspective.
I can't think of an example, really, yeah, of like when a lie could be a good thing. Yeah, you guys chime in. It's
a hard one. I don't want, in an ideal world, I won't be around people I don't like. And then, you know, so if it's people I like, I don't want to hurt their feelings unnecessarily. So I think I would be err on the side of just letting things go. But, you know, if it's important and then perhaps they're causing harm somewhere down the line, yeah, I'd be tempted to say something.
And if it's like we're trying to save someone's feelings, like, well, maybe if we're not then speaking our truth, we might be thinking that we're doing them a favour, but actually in the long run not, because maybe we get resentful because we're not saying something that we need to say to that person. I always historically found it really hard to say to people if I was unhappy about something that they'd done or said, or a situation. Like, I couldn't say, I just think, oh well, they probably didn't mean it how I've taken it, or they're probably just having a bad day, or they're tired, you know, and I would let things go all the time and not speak up about things, and then I'd just be really resentful, and that's not really nice for that person in the relationship if you become like that. So, yeah, I think learning to speak your truth in a polite, like in a good way, is like really important. Nonviolent Communication was a great book, wasn't it, that helped us with communication.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really brilliant. Right, we should probably go and do some other things. I really need to get my vlog editing because I need to get some content out. So we'll bid you adieu. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on our toast. And the cameras rolling. Do follow us on the gram, hench_herbivore.
Gemma_herbivore and cowboy_herbivore.
Check him out. He's got more followers than anyone. You know, daily just updates. Kind of our stories now. Oftentimes, I'm posting a lot more, and it's kind of like one big long vlog, really. So if you want, I do Q&As occasionally. If you want some like food sort of inspiration. Speaking of food inspiration, buy our books. They're cheap now. Link down below if you want to support us. And if you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you can come and hang out with us again.
We have a Discord server for channel members and Patreons where we will communicate in between streams. So if you're a member, check that out. We've been more active on there lately.
I'll turn into one of them frogs.
There's all different rooms on there. I was saying on there today, let's have a room for mental health. let's discuss things like our favourite meditations we're doing or mental health practices.
Mental. So we'll be back, both of us, on Monday night, 6 p.m. GMT. Set a reminder on your phone. I may be on tomorrow or Sunday morning for a solo stream.
I'll be in bed.
She'll be asleep. So, yeah, follow us on the gram, and I will post on there if and when I'm coming on, so you can know, so you can catch us. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. It's nice to see you all. Nice to see Selma back as well.
Yeah.
Lovely face. And we should get out of there. It's good.
You know, earlier I said sex was this.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to just be like that. That's like male, female. It can go other ways.
Let's get out of
Was I
here.
being offensive?
It's good. It's good night for me.
Good night for me.
Good night.